thanks for coming back for Brawler Bash 2017 Game 2. You will notice it looks very similar to Game 1 because I didn't move a damn bit. I am still playing on table 15, and this is my Dwarven holds versus the Infernal Dwarves of Duke Robinson, who is, hands down, the most fun player I have ever played a game of Warhammer with. We were hooting and hollering and laughing the entire game. It was super awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't start taking pictures till like halfway through turn 1, so things are going to look a little wonky early on. And Duke and I were really focused more on playing a fun game and keeping the action rolling, so it was kind of a messy game all told, but I will try and help things stay understandable. I do not remember which card I used. It might have been the one to make me have first turn. And I think Duke was trying to kill my general. That might be the case, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So he is playing Infernal Dwarves, and I have never played them before, so I'm going to do my best to say what all these are, and hopefully you'll get it. So he's going to start with a little 10-man unit of Citadel Guard. Then he has a 14-man unit of Citadel Guard with his BSB in it, who is got heavy, like the Armor of Destiny and the Gauntlets of Mazdab. Then he has a big old unit of 35 Hobgoblins. Then their volley gun, the gunnery team there. Then he has a unit of Immortals that is... That might not be the Immortals. That might be the Citadel, another Citadel Guard. I don't know. It's going to be hard to describe this. I think the next unit is the... No, I'm sorry. The unit that's all the way to the right is the Immortals. So is the one next to... Yeah, those are two Immortals because he has his characters. He's got two crazy combat characters. So you know what? Rather than continuing to mumble like I know what I'm doing, let's just get into the action because that's kind of how we played the game. He also has... He's got a bunch of super killy characters. He's pulling some jazz about making his attacks flaming. Then he's got a magic item that makes me flammable if I'm touching him, which is basically he's getting to hits from hatred, or to hit rerolls from hatred, to wounds rerolls for me being flammable, and it's just scary. Also, this is a good kick in the teeth for my army because like everything in it except for the Hobgoblins has a 5-up ward save against fire, which is just fantastic. Way in the back, he also has a unit, a rocket launcher guy. And then over here, he's got another volley gun, a Hobgoblin bolt thrower in the back, and a unit of the Taruk Anointed, I think is what they're called. They're the big scary monster cav that are all frenzied and crazy, hiding behind that river there. So basically, I run up my Slayers first, the shield guys behind him, and again, things look weird because this is... Oh no, I know which game this is. This is the one where I got to Vanguard an extra unit. So like all my units Vanguarded. That's why it looks so weird. But yeah, so I've got the shield guys right behind the Slayers. I've got my Deep Watch with all the characters headed straight for his lines. I've got the Great Weapon Greybeards headed for his Immortals. And I'm hiding the Pain Train right now because it's been blown up a couple of times and it's hurting and I want to get it into doing something good. So it's there, and the my crossbowmen are in front of it. So my turn 1, I basically took advantage of what I had done to move the Slayers over and bring forward the Shield Dwarves, which makes me have a nice beautiful battle line for him to come into. I also move up my Vengeance Seekers to the line and bring the chopper up to do a little bit of chaffing and try and shoot the organ gun that you can't see off the side of the board here. Um, I do some shooting with thrown weapons from the two groups on either sides and peel off the back rank of his his Citadel Guard unit here. And then it's his turn. On the plus side, neither of us have any magic, so this should go by quick. Also, this is just a really good picture of the pain train. I just wish it was a good picture I got of the pain train when it wasn't being charged by scary things. So he runs right up at me. I actually stand and shoot and kill one of the Teruks, which is pretty awesome. And over here, he decides just to come and mix it up like crazy because, as we were talking about, we both came here to kill models, and that's what we're going to do. So he meets me right in the middle of the lines, and this is going to be fun. He even does it with the hobgoblins. So he throws like hobgoblins and his other Citadel Guard right into the face of my Slayers, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, especially for me, because if he doesn't blow me off the board with that organ gun, I'm going to be able to take my Greybeards with shields into the flank of his hobgoblins, which is pretty cool. These guys have decided that they're going to haul their little asses over here and take out my ballista, so they're getting to that. And then he decides to go ahead and open fire with his various things, peels off a few shield dwarves, and kills my Vengeance Seeker. He also manages to get a wound on this Vengeance Seeker. And then murders the pain train and overruns right into the crossbowman. Very sad day. And over here he does some killing. I do some killing. But the one thing I've got that he doesn't is unbreakability, and I ain't going nowhere, son. I'm just watching, like, looking at these pictures is reminding me how much fun this is. This game was, because we're having a great time by this point. He ends up only peeling off one of my Deep Watch. I chew through some more dwarves. I might have done one or two breath weapons here. No, I did not. I did not yet. I saved those. And then his crazy characters in these Immortals just absolutely brutalize my my Greybeards and run them down. Over here, turn 2, I decide to go ahead and charge the Vengeance Seeker into the organ gun, figuring those should be some easy points for him to pick up. And I come into the flank here, and I'm thinking this fight is all over but the crying. And my miners decide to show up and focus on some rocket launchers. And boom! Death by fire breath. I open up with the thing's fire breath and melt that son of a bitch. Over here, I kill the other war machine with the Vengeance Seeker. And I think I flew the chopper over after the third war machine that's over there. Just to try and shoot him up too, but I don't think I did anything this turn. And then the fight went like I expected. I busted his guys up, broke them real bad, but then I failed to roll any pursuit rolls because apparently my guys loaded their pants down with lead bricks, and so we end up with this kind of weird army conga line going on, where we've got his troops, then his hobgoblins, then my Slayers, then my Greybeards, just because that's the order that they happen to roll in their numbers, but I didn't catch anything here. And again, I break these guys, try to pursue, he runs a good bit, I go 2 inches. So, wonderful. And then he brings some pain, decides to charge these Immortals in, has reformed his big unit and is coming up from behind, and rallies the unit that I just broke. So, yeah, looks like my Deep Watch and all my characters are about to get surrounded by, give or take, 50% of his army. He also rallies both of the 2 groups that I broke, so I have gained no points beyond what I've killed of his war machines so far. And sad to say, I'm still having fun at this. I guess not sad to say, I guess good to say. we're still having fun with this, so I don't feel as held down as I was in my last game. I feel like I have a fighting chance. And his dudes keep running, trying to get up the hill to get this bolt thrower who has done absolutely nothing all game. Um, and yeah, he turns around, opens up with the volley gun on the back of the shield dwarves, and manages to kill a single dwarf. Way to go, Infernal Dwarf siege weapons. And here I open up with a fire breath. It does like weaken my fire breath by half, but I still managed to kill 4 guys, if I recall correctly. But I figured I wasn't going to do too many breath deaths here because it's just it is what it is. He's got ward saves on all of it. So Dwarven holds turn 3. I turn around and start getting ready to handle this bolt thrower. I start bringing dudes in. I did win, or maybe I just barely lost and managed to reform. So my Deep Watch is now staring at the face of his Infernal Dwarves. In shooting, I go ahead and blow the bolt thrower off the table. I did also charge his hobgoblins on the other side. It just looks like I forgot to take a picture of it. Because here's what happens. I end up charging the hobgoblins with both groups. They take it in the face, get butchered, ran down, and slams me into his other unit here with his BSB. Then I do a couple more fire breaths and kill 6 more dudes. And then it's Infernal Dwarf's turn 3, and he makes a Deep Watch sandwich. And he finally gets to the top of the hill. And now he comes bringing some more trouble. It's actually, the Turoks killed the other dwarves, I guess 2 turns ago, and I just forgot to take a picture of it. So they're moving their butts across the field, trying to come find something else to fight. He opens up shooting, ends up doing a wound on the bolt thrower. We do some more fighting. I finally killed out all of his guard here, except for the 2 crazy strength 7 and 8 characters that are just being held back by nothing more than my parry rolls at this point. And over here, my guys murder this lone unit and turn around to start the long, arduous trek back. Dwarven holds turn 4. I decide to fly the copter over to start shooting at the organ gun, hoping that it's not going to do too much damage to my guys that are returning. And everything starts moving towards this big fight in the center now that I've taken out all of the stuff at the flanks. I also charge the Vengeance Seeker into the side of this guard unit, figuring that that's probably the weakest link there and I can handle them. And I do pretty well. He ends up killing, 5 of them, so I think there's like 1 left. This fight goes so badly that one of his big, scary Infernal Dwarf characters breaks and runs like hell, and is up on top of the hill now. So ID turn 4, he decides to start bringing up the Terox to intercept this group that's coming back to the fight. He rallies with this character, and my Vengeance Seeker manages to kill the last of the first unit and turns itself to do a flank charge into the one character that's still holding on. He's killed out all of my Deep Watch now and is down to murdering characters. Luckily, here on the side, where all these guys would normally be getting a lot of attacks, we actually have a challenge going on, though we didn't move the models. His crazy flaming dude with my Runesmith, who has a 2-up ward against fire and is holding the line. My BSB's got 2 wounds sitting on him, and it's just not looking good right now. He finally kills off the bolt thrower. And we go to Dwarven Hold's turn 5. And I push forward, and my Slayer Lord is ready for what he was built for. And steps out in front of the Terox and says, "Come get some, boys." Because I will eat that whole unit, like, without even trouble. So I'm ready for it. I also sent the Vengeance Seeker into the side of his character, They're crazy defended, but if I can sneak a wound or two through, I might be able to get him taken care of. And that's pretty much what I do. I sneak one wound through. He still can't hurt anything. I do actually get one wound through on his big character with my Rune Lord, which was completely unexpected, but I'll take what I can get, and we're still holding. ID turn 5, he tries to charge down the hill with his character that had run away, fails to do so, and staggers a couple of inches. And he does charge the Terrux into my Slayer Lord and moves the other guard down to come get the chopper. He takes some shots with the remaining gun and does a couple of wounds on my Greybeards. And as you can see, the Terrux are gone. He decides to throw me into a challenge. My Slayer Lord brutalizes the Terrux champion with maximum overkill, which is enough to make them break. And for the first time so far at the tournament, I roll a good pursuit roll, and my Slayer Lord runs down the Terrux, and they all die. Over here, I get another wound through on his big character in the front. It's just going real slow. We're grinding, we're fighting. I think I only have one wound left on the Vengeance Seeker as well, but we're holding. And then we go to Dwarven Holds turn 6, and I charge, realizing that I don't have enough time to get back into anything. I charge the Greybeards into his last remaining war machine, and then everything else just kind of wanders over to see what the hell's going on over here. Everybody's been pretty busy for a while, so they come to watch. And over here I move around so that I can shoot some dwarves, because there's nothing else the copter's really going to do this turn. And yeah, I think this is just showing like where everything is. Or this might be after the combat, because we do nothing. However, up at the top, we do kill the last war machine and turn to look at what's going on. And yeah, this must be after the combat, because nothing happened. Everybody's still holding. Except it does look like he actually killed my general at this point. That may have been either this turn or last turn, I don't recall. But he got him. ID turn 6, he turns to try and shoot the copter, and charges that second character back in. So we go into another fight, and again, things are grinding. He can't get past my 2-up ward save against fire with his big character, and I am super happy about that. So that's where things end. He did manage to, I think, in that last fight, the last round, take out the BSB, because he's laying here looking dead. So at the end of things, Dwarven Holds actually get a win here, 51-62 in points, with the Infernal Dwarves picking up 37-34. This was an absolutely great game. We just had a great time. It was awesome to just throw models at each other and see what happens. The Infernal Dwarves and their characters are hard as rocks. Oh my god. But luckily, my characters are enough to get the job done, and I held up very well. That unit with the characters in it was obviously the MVP, and it shows. I'm showing. I don't know if I talked about it last game, but I had 28 fire breath deaths in the last game, with 10 in this one. Brings our tournament total so far up to 38 fire breath deaths. Going on to the next game, just wanted to say a quick thanks to my patrons. Anybody who would like to help support me, my channel, and the hobby, I will have the link to my Patreon in the description. But again, my patrons, Peter and Sylvanas Ironwood, thanks you guys. Anybody else who would like to help, your thanks will be your support will be certainly thanked and welcome as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We've got 3 more games. I got 1 more this same day, and 2 more to finish out the tournament, so stick around because they were pretty cool.